I died choking on my own blood in the trunk of a stolen Cadillac. The kind of cheap getaway car that screams desperation. While my brother's voice echoed from the driver's seat, "You should have stayed out of it."
Soft.
Family first. The tire screeched as he dumped me off the Hoover Dam overlook, my body tumbling into the black void of the Colorado River below, weighted down by the lies I'd swallowed for years. But death isn't the end when you've got unfinished business. Mine restarted with a gasp in my old bedroom, the alarm clock blinking 7 a.m. on the morning of his wedding, 3 years before the plunge. My name is Sophia Hale, and the first thing I felt waking up in my 25-year-old body wasn't relief. It was rage. Hot and electric. Like I'd mainlined a triple espresso laced with venom. I'd clawed my way back from oblivion, every nerve ending screaming with the memories of betrayal that had landed me in that trunk. My brother Ethan, the golden boy, selling me out to cover his embezzlement from our family's real estate empire. Dad's empire, which he'd built from nothing in the cutthroat Phoenix suburbs, only for Ethan to torch it all in a Ponzi scheme that framed me as the fall guy. I'd trusted him. Hell, I'd idolized him, until the feds dragged me away in cuffs. And he whispered, "Sorry,
sis.
Survival of the fittest."
Now.
Here I was, flesh and blood again, staring at the vanity mirror where my reflection grinned like a wolf spotting a lame deer. Ethan thought he was untouchable, marrying into old money at the Bellagio in Vegas to seal his alibi. But this time, I knew the ledger inside out. Game on. The drive to Vegas was a blur of desert heat shimmering off Interstate 15, my rental Mustang hugging the curves like it sensed the storm brewing in my gut. I'd woken up in my cramped Scottsdale apartment, the one I'd shared with my then-boyfriend,
Jake,
before he flipped sides too, testifying against me for a plea deal Ethan greased.
Jake,
with his boyish grin and promises of forever, who'd slipped the evidence into my purse himself. But that was future tense now. Present me had the bank statements printed, hidden in my glove compartment, Ethan's offshore accounts, the shell companies, the kickbacks from Dad's biggest client, a sleazy developer named Harlan Crow who'd vanished after the bust. In my first life, I'd uncovered it too late, after Dad's heart attack from the scandal. This time, I'd bury Ethan before he could swing the shovel. Pulling into the Bellagio's valet circle, the fountain show erupted in a symphony of water and light, tourists gaping like it was the eighth wonder. Ethan was there already, schmoozing with the wedding planner, his arms slung around his fiancée, Lila, a Botox socialite from the Dallas oil set, all pearls and passive aggression. She spotted me first, waving with that fake southern sweetness. "Sophia, honey, you made it." Ethan's been raving about his little sis, the accountant. Little sis.
Yeah, right.
I was the one who'd balanced the books since Dad's stroke 5 years back, crunching numbers while Ethan glad-handed at golf courses. I forced a smile, heels clicking on the marble as I approached. Ethan turned, his blue eyes, mirror of mine, cursed the genetics, narrowing just a fraction. He pulled me into a hug that smelled of his overpriced cologne, whispering, "Play nice today." "This is my day." "Yours and Lila's," I murmured back, my voice steady as rebar. But inside, I was mapping the exits, the security cams, the VIP suite where the rehearsal dinner would seal deals dirtier than the casino floor. The hook was set, now to reel him in. The lobby buzzed with pre-wedding frenzy, floral arches dripping orchids, a string quartet tuning up for the vows. Lila dragged me to the champagne tower, chattering about the intimate guest list of 200 tech bros. real estate sharks, and a judge who'd owe Ethan favors post-honeymoon. I nodded along, sipping bubbly that tasted like ash. My eyes locked on the concierge desk where the key cards for the penthouse suites waited. That's when Ethan sidled up, his laugh booming as he clapped a hand on my shoulder. Look at this place.
Soft.
Bellagio's top tier, 20 grand a night for the bridal suite alone. You ever think you'd set foot in a joint like this? I could hear the subtext. The same sneer he'd hurled at me in boardrooms back home. You're the broke bean counter. I'm the closer. In my first life, I'd laughed it off, too loyal to call his bluff.
But now?
I met his gaze, letting the silence stretch like taffy. Actually, Ethan, I own a piece of it. He barked a laugh, drawing eyes from the cluster of groomsmen nursing whiskeys. Own a piece? Come on.
Sis.
With what? Your Walmart salary and that junker Civic? This is Vegas. Not some Phoenix strip mall dad flipped in the 90s. The groomsmen chuckled. Jake among them, my Jake. Still oblivious to the knife I'd sharpen for him later. Lila tittered behind her manicured hand. Ethan, be nice. Sophia's family. Oh, she is, Ethan said, leaning in, voice dropping to that patronizing drawl. But let's be real, hotels like this are for winners. You couldn't afford the valet tip, let alone a room. Stick to the free buffet.
Yeah.
Rage flickered, but I swallowed it, tasting copper. This was the moment, the first crack in his facade. I reached into my clutch, pulling out my phone, the screen already cued to the transfer confirmation from last night. In this reset life, I'd moved fast, liquidated my modest savings into a down payment on a fractional ownership share in the MGM Resorts portfolio, a move Dad had whispered about before he died. It was legit, traceable, and enough to buy a sliver of the Bellagio's luxury wing. Funny you mention affordability.
Bro.
Because I just closed on this. I turned the screen. Congratulations. Tennis. Hail. Ownership stake confirmed. Bellagio penthouse residences. 5% equity. The groomsmen fell silent, Jake's face paling as he peered over. Ethan's smirk faltered, just for a beat, before he recovered with a scoff. Photoshop? Nice try.
Soft.
You expect us to believe you went from ramen to real estate overnight. Not overnight, I said softly, pocketing the phone. Over years of watching you bleed Dad's company dry. But hey, it's your wedding. Let's not air laundry in the lobby. I walked away then, feeling his stare burn into my back like a laser sight. The hook was deep now. Real time. Up in my comped suite, yes. The perks of partial ownership. I paced the balcony overlooking the strip, the neon haze blurring into a migraine of memories. That trunk again. The zip ties biting my wrists. Ethan's voice on the phone to Harlan. She's handled. Wire the rest. Harlan. The phantom who'd funded Ethan's schemes with dirty casino money, laundering it through Dad's legit flips. I'd pieced it together too late last time, confronting Ethan in his office, only for Jake to accidentally trigger the alarm, sealing my fate. Dad had died believing I was the thief. His last words a rasp. Why? Soft. This time, I'd make sure he lived to see the truth. The rehearsal dinner was a powder keg disguised as surf and turf. Crystal glasses clinked under the private ballroom's crystal chandeliers. Lila's family droning about oil futures while Ethan's cronies swapped Rolexes like trading cards. I sat at the family table, picking at lobster bisque. Ethan's foot accidentally nudging mine under the cloth, a warning. Drop the act. Soph, he hissed during the toasts. That's Cher's bullshit. I checked the registry on the way up. No hail listed. Smart boy. But I'd anticipated that. My stake was under a Shell LLC. Desert Rose Holdings, a name Dad had floated for his retirement fund. Patience. Ethan, I whispered back, raising my glass to him. To family secrets. His eyes narrowed, suspicion hardening into something uglier.
Good.
Let it fester. Jake cornered me by the dessert cart later. His cologne the same cheap axe that used to make me swoon.
Soph.
You okay? Ethan's just stressed. Wedding jitters. His hand brushed my arm, and bile rose. In the trunk's darkness, I'd heard him laughing with Ethan over burner phones. She bought it all.
Man.
Sucker. I shrugged him off. Voice honeyed poison. Jitters? Or just the noose tightening? Tell me, Jake, how's that side hustle going? The one where you forged signatures for Ethan's investors? He froze. Adam's apple bobbing. What the hell are you talking about? Nothing, I said, popping a macaron like it was his eyeball. Yet, I left him sweating. The first domino teetering. That night, insomnia hit like a freight train. I booted up my laptop, cross-referencing the files I'd forgotten to delete this time around, the encrypted drive from Dad's old safe, backups I'd made after his stroke. There it was, Ethan's digital trail. Emails to Harlan about skimming $2.3 million from the Phoenix Heights development. The Heights, our crowning project. Low-income housing flipped into luxury condos overnight, displacing families Dad had sworn to help. I'd covered for him once, fudging a quarterly report to buy time for an audit. Mistake number 1. In my death throes, that guilt had been the real killer. But secrets breed more secrets. Digging deeper, I hit patered, a buried folder labeled Legacy. Dad's will, unaltered by Ethan's forgeries. It named me sole heir to the company. Not him, Ethan was adopted, a fact Dad hid to protect his bonus son from Mom's messy divorce. Ethan knew, of course, he'd found out at 18, using it as leverage ever since. Blackmail wrapped in brotherly love. The betrayal cut fresh. A knife twist in the ribs. Dawn broke with a text from Lila. Brunch at the pool? Girls only. I almost laughed. Bonding over mimosas while plotting my brother's downfall?
Tempting.
Instead, I suited up in a one-piece that screamed, "Don't fuck with me," and hit the spa, booking a corporate wellness session that let me eavesdrop on the staff chatter. Whispers about a VIP guest, Harlan Crow, checking in under an alias. Bingo. He was here, slinking in the shadows for the vows, ready to wire the final payoff. By noon, the poolside brunch was a pastel nightmare, Lila in a caftan, her bridesmaids cooing over ring selfies. I played along, dishing dirt on Jake to sow discord. Did you know he still texts his ex? While my mind raced. The plan crystallized, expose Ethan at the altar, but not with a scream. With proof. I'd hacked the wedding AV system last night, perks of being the tech-savvy sister. Cueing a slideshow, not of kissy photos, but ledgers. Risky? Hell yes. Controversial? The press would eat it alive. Sister sabotages brother's big day over alleged fraud. But justice isn't polite. Ethan found me post-brunch, cornering me in the garden atrium, palms sweating despite the AC. What the fuck are you pulling? Soph. That LLC bullshit. It's mine. Isn't it? You stole my play. Yours, I echoed, circling him like a shark. Like the Heights money? Or Dad's will you shred it? His face drained of color. You don't know shit. I know Harlan's here. I know about the adoption papers in Mom's attic. And I know, Ethan, that if you go through with this wedding, the feds get an anonymous tip before cake service. Bluff? Half. I'd already emailed the files to a burner account, scheduled to autosend if my heart rate spiked. Apple Watch. Meet paranoia. He lunged, grabbing my wrist hard enough to bruise. You bitch. After everything I've done for you? Done. I wrenched free. Voice a whip crack. You framed me, dumped me off a dam like trash. Dad died thinking I was the monster. The atrium echoed with my shout, a waiter pausing mid-tray. Ethan's eyes darted, calculating. Past tense? What the? Doesn't matter. I straightened, channeling the ghost of my dead self. Walk away from Lila. Confess to the board. And maybe I let you keep your freedom. Marry her, and I burn it all. He laughed, bitter and broken. You're crazy. No one'll believe you over me. Test me. I walked out, leaving him shattered glass on the tile. The wedding day dawned like a hangover, brutal, unrelenting. I stood in the bridal suite mirror, zipping Lila's gown while she fretted over vows. Sophia, you're a lifesaver. Ethan's been
Off.
like he's hiding something. Aren't we all? I quipped, pinning her veil. Guilt nipped. But nah, this was survival. Down in the chapel, guests filed in, Dad's old partners eyeing Ethan warily, Jake fidgeting like a kid caught with porn. I slipped into the back pew, remote in hand for the AV trigger. The processional swelled, Lila gliding down the aisle on her daddy's arm, Ethan at the altar in a tux that screamed fraudulent innocence. Vows exchanged. Rings slipped on, then the slideshow kicked in. My override seamless. Instead of beach candids, screens flickered to life with spreadsheets, withdrawals, transfers, Ethan's signature on falsified docs. Gasps rippled. What the? From the best man. Lila halted mid-kiss, veil whipping as she spun. Ethan? Her voice cracked like fine china. He whirled, face volcanic. Sophia. I stood, projector beam catching my silhouette. Truth time, brother. You stole everything, Dad's trust, my life. This ends now. Chaos erupted. Shouts. Phones out. Harlan bolting for the exit, only to find security. My call. Preemptive. Ethan charged the aisle, but Jake tackled him. Loyalty flipping like a bad bet. She's right.
Man.
I can't do this anymore. Twist of the knife. Lila tore off her ring, hurling it like a grenade. You lying sack. My family's ruined. Feds swarmed minutes later. My anonymous tip. Upgraded to live feed. Ethan cuffed, snarling. This isn't over. Soft, but it was. As they dragged him out, Dad, alive, heart steady from my early morning checkup call, pulled me into a hug. Proud of you.
Kid.
Knew you had it in you. In the aftermath. The press dubbed it Vegas Vow Vendetta. Debates raging on cable news. Was I hero or homewrecker? Controversial? Abso-fucking-lutely. But as I signed the Desert Rose papers in the boardroom, Dad beaming beside me, I felt the weight lift. Reborn. Unbetrayed. Ethan rotted in county. Jake slunk back to whatever hole. Lila sued for breach and won big.
Me?
I flipped the Heights back to affordable. A nod to Dad's ghost. Redemption's a bitch. But damn if it doesn't fit just right. The fallout from the Bellagio bust hit like a monsoon over the Mojave. Fast. Furious. And leaving everything soaked in regret. 2 weeks post-wedding that was. I was back in Phoenix. Holed up in Dad's old ranch house on the city's edge. The kind of sprawling adobe with saguaro sentinels and a pool that shimmered like fool's gold under the relentless sun. Dad had rallied after my intervention, doctors crediting reduced stress, but we both knew it was the truth serum I'd injected into the family vein. He shuffled around in slippers, brewing coffee strong enough to strip paint, muttering about that boy like Ethan was a bad investment he'd written off. Soph. You sure you don't want to press charges yourself? Dad asked over breakfast, his voice gravel from years of chain-smoking Camels before the quit. The kitchen smelled of bacon and betrayal. Newspapers splayed open to headlines. Heiress exposes brother's $2 million scam at altar. Justice or jealousy? I folded the Arizona Republic. The photo of Ethan's perp walk glaring up like a mugshot from hell. Feds have enough.
Dad.
Let karma handle the rest.
Lie.
I'd already filed civil suit for defamation and emotional distress, $5 million. Easy win on the frame job evidence. Controversial? The op-eds called me vengeful. A sister scorned, weaponizing family ties. Let him talk. In my first life, silence had been my shroud. Dad eyed me over his mug. Those hail blues piercing. You're different since Vegas. Sharper. Like you aged a decade in a day. If only he knew. Just woke up. That's all. I excused myself to the study. The room where it had all unraveled before. Oak desk scarred from Ethan's tantrums. Filing cabinets stuffed with ghosts. I powered up the ancient PC, syncing my phone's cloud, files from the reset, cross-checked with fresh subpoenas. Harlan Crow was the loose end, slippery as Vaseline, holed up in a Tahoe cabin per the PI I'd hired day one. Time to pull that thread. The drive north was therapy on asphalt, windows down. Classic rock blasting Springsteen's Born to Run like an anthem for my second chance. Tahoe's pines whispered secrets as I pulled up to the gate. A rented Tahoe of my own, irony noted, buzzing the intercom. Delivery for Mr.
Crow.
From Desert Rose. The voice crackled. Wary. Who? Sophia Hale. Ethan's sister. He says it's urgent. Hook.
Line.
Sinker. The gate swung. And there he was, Harlan. Mid-60s. Paunch straining a polo. Eyes darting like a cornered coyote. Miss Hale. Didn't expect company. Neither did Ethan. I stepped inside. The cabin reeking of stale scotch and panic. Walls papered in faded stock certificates. No mincing words, I slapped a folder on the coffee table. Photos spilling. Wire transfers. His signature on the laundering docs. You funded my brother's bullshit. Framed me.
Now. Talk.
Or the IRS gets the director's cut. He sank into a leather chair. Sweat beading. Ethan promised it was clean. Flip the land. Skim the profits. Your old man never knew. Dad knew enough to trust me with the books. I leaned in. Voice steel. But you? You vanished after the damn job. Why? His laugh was a wheeze. Damn?
Kid.
That was Ethan's crazy idea. Said you were onto him. Needed to disappear the problem. I wired the cash.
But the drop?
On him. I ain't no killer. Liar. But the flicker in his eye, the tell of a man half buried in his own bullshit, confirmed it. In my death fog, I'd heard two voices arguing, Ethan's and a gravelly drawl matching Harlan's. Twist. He'd been there. Look out while Ethan did the deed. Bullshit, I snapped. You held the bag while he zip-tied me. Testify against him. And maybe you walk with a misdemeanor. Harlan poured a tumbler, hand shaking. And if I don't, I pulled my phone, hitting record. Then you join him in Supermax. Your call. He cracked like cheap crystal, spilling the full scheme, from bribing inspectors on the heights to Jake's forged audits. Jake, the weak link who'd cracked at the altar, now spilling more in exchange for immunity. Harlan signed the affidavit by dusk, tears streaking his jowls. Ethan's poison.
Miss.
Always was. Driving back under star-pricked skies, I felt the scales tip. But victory's a drug, and mine came laced with doubt. What if exposing Ethan painted me as the villain? The board meeting loomed, Dad's old cronies, skeptical suits who'd backed the wrong horse. Controversial decisions ahead. Dismantle the scam-riddled divisions. Refocus on ethical builds. Risky, but right. Phoenix welcomed me with a heat wave. The office towered downtown, a glass monolith reflecting my resolve. The boardroom was a lion's den, 10 gray hairs in Armani, murmuring as I entered, laptop under arm. Dad flanked me, silent sentinel. Ladies, gentlemen, I started. No bullshit preamble. Ethan Hale embezzled $2.3 million, framed me, and nearly killed our legacy. Here's the proof. Slides clicked. Harlan's depot. Bank trails. Ethan's emails. Gasps. Then silence. Old man Whitaker, Dad's right hand since the 80s, cleared his throat. Sophia, this is explosive. You sabotaged a wedding. To save the company, I cut in. Ethan's marriage was a money grab. Lila's family was in on the laundering. Walk away now, or we're all complicit. Debate erupted, calls for audits, whispers of lawsuits. Whitaker pushed back hardest. You're green,
Girl.
Ethan's charisma built deals you couldn't touch. Charisma? I laughed.
Bitter.
Or blackmail. Check Exhibit C, his threats on your pension fund.
Boom.
The room deflated. Votes swinging my way. By adjournment, I was interim CEO. Dad nodding approval. But shadows lingered. Jake texted that night. We need to talk. Coffee. My old apartment. Ghosts included. I met him at a dive off Camelback. Neon open sign flickering like a bad omen. He looked wrecked, stubble. Hollow eyes. Soft. I fucked up. Ethan pressured me. Said it'd ruin us if I didn't. Us. I sipped black coffee. Scalding. You testified against me. Laughed while I drowned. He paled. Drowned? What? Figure of speech. Close enough. Why now?
Guilt. And
I still love you. His hand reached across the formica.
pleading.
Controversy incarnate. Forgive the traitor? Part of me, the pre-death Sophia, yearned for it. The easy out. But the new me? I slid a napkin over. My number scrawled. Prove it. Testify full. No deals. He nodded. Broken. For you? Anything. As he left, I crushed the cup. Shards drawing blood. Mercy was a luxury I couldn't afford. Not yet. Weeks blurred into rebuild. Press tours defending my altar ambush, therapy sessions unpacking the near-death stress, therapist's words, I nodded along. Dad and I golfed at Papago, his swing steadier, sharing stories of Mom's wild youth before the cancer. You remind me of her. Soft. Balls of steel.
Nah.
Just bad wiring. But his pride warmed the chill. Then the call. Ethan's lawyer. Pleading a deal. He wants to see you. One visit. County jail was a concrete purgatory. Orange jumpsuits like warnings. Ethan behind, plexi. Thinner. Eyes feral. You win,
Sis.
happy. Not yet. I press the receiver.
Cold.
Why me? The trunk. The lies. Dad loved you like blood. He sneered. Old habits. Blood? I'm the charity case. Remember?
You got the empire.
I took scraps. Scraps worth millions. And my life. His laugh cracked. Thought it'd scare you off. Didn't count on. Whatever this is. Resurrection. Chills. How much had he guessed?
Confess.
Full truth. Harlan's waiting. Or what? You haunt me forever. Defiance crumbled to sobs. I'm sorry.
Soft.
For Dad. For you. I hung up without reply, walking out into monsoon rain that washed the jail stink away. Confession filed by morning. Ethan pled out. 20 to life. Twist came soft. Lila's lawsuit unearthed Mom's letters, proving Ethan knew his adoption young. Used it to manipulate. Dad read them by firelight. Tears carving tracks. Forgive me for hiding it. Forgiven. We hugged. Family reforged. But Jake's testimony opened floodgates. More victims. A class action. I let it. Controversial crusader. Headlines screaming, vindictive vixen or victim's voice? Debates on Fox. CNN, me in the hot seat. Defending. Revenge?
No.
Accountability. Nights. Alone. The dam replayed. Splash. Darkness. I'd wake gasping. But stronger. Rebirth's gift, clarity. By fall. Heights redevelopment broke ground, affordable units. Green spaces. Groundbreaking ribbon cut. Dad's hand in mine. Jake in the crowd. Eyes hopeful. Forgiveness? Maybe. But trust? Earned. Ethan's appeal denied. Harlan deported.
Me?
CEO for real. Board at my back. The sneer at the Bellagio? Fading scar. Life rebooted.
And damn.
It roared. Winter gripped Phoenix like a bad ex, chilly nights. Fall starts at warmth.
And me?
Sophia Hale. Navigating the wreckage with a swagger that turned heads in boardrooms and bars alike. 6 months post-Bellagio. The company stock had rebounded 15%. Analysts crediting my unconventional leadership. Unconventional. Code for the chick who crashed a wedding with spreadsheets. I ate it up. Striding into the annual gala at the Heard Museum in a crimson gown that screamed power. Not penitence. Dad escorted me. Arm linked. Whispering, they'll never see you coming twice. The gala was a swirl of benefactors in black tie. Native art glowing under spotlights. Champagne flutes clinking like fragile truces. Lila's absence was noted. Her settlement gagged her. But rumors swirled of a memoir deal. Veiled vase. Betrayed at the altar. Controversial queen. Meet your court jester. I schmoozed with Whitaker. Now my staunchest ally. Toasting the Heights progress. 80 units leased. Families back home. Brava. Sophia, he said, monocle glinting. But Ethan's sending ripples. Letters from prison, claiming coercion. Coercion. Ethan's favorite tune. Let him sing. The tape from Harlan buries that. Yet doubt not. That jail visit, his tears, had humanized the monster. Just enough to haunt. Was I the villain in his reboot fantasy?
No.
The trunk's echo drowned it. Jake waited by the dessert table. Suit rumpled. Eyes earnest. Post-testimony. He'd vanished into witness protection light, a job at a Tucson firm. Low profile. You look unstoppable, he said, offering a flute. Feel it too. I clinked, sipping. How's normalcy?
Boring.
Miss the fire, you. His grin. The old one.
Tugged.
Danger zone. We'd coffeed thrice. Neutral ground. Him spilling regrets like loose change. Forgiveness simmered. But sex? Off limits. Friends first.
Jake.
Or nothing. Fair. But his gaze lingered. Heat wave in December. The night peaked with my keynote. From ashes to assets, rebuilding trust in turbulent times. Crowd ate it. Applause thundering as I stepped down, only for a shadow to detach from the bar. Harlan? No, a reporter. Vulture-eyed. From the Republic. MS. Hail. Care to comment on your brother's suicide note? Leaked this morning, blames you for pushing him over the edge. Ice water in veins. Suicide? Ethan's alive. Attempt. Razor in his cell last night. Note says, Sophia's truth killed me. Dramatic. Huh, dramatic. My hand trembled on the stem. No comment, but inside. Sirens wailed. Ethan, playing martyr? Or genuine break? Dad drove home. Radio off.
Tension thick.
Ignore it.
Kid.
He's cornered rat's bite. But if he talks, the adoption, the full damn details. Loose lips could torch my rep. Then we fight. Dad's grip tightened on the wheel. Hails don't fold. Sleep evaded. Notes words looping. By dawn, I was on the phone to the warden, special visit approved. The jail's sterile hum mocked me as I sat. Ethan shuffled in. Wrists bandaged. Eyes hollowed. Sophomore. No sneer. Just exhaustion. Come to gloat. Came to end this. I slid photos across his cell. The razor. Why? He traced a scar.
Nights.
The damn replays. Your screams. Harlan ratted full, said I laughed. Did I? Memory flashed his chuckle. Cold as the river. You did. Tears welled. Hated you for knowing me. The adoption. Dad's pity project. You were real blood.
The air.
So I took it. By killing me? Voice cracked. First time. Scare tactic. Trunk was panic. Harlan chickened. Left me to dump you. Thought you'd wash up bruised. Back off. He slumped. Woke up next day. Cops dragging your body from the rocks. Faked death?
Nah.
You were gone. Twist gut punched. He hadn't meant murder. Manslaughter by cowardice. Rage warred with pity. You broke us all. Forgive. Plea hung. Not mine to give. I stood. But live with it. Confess the attempt. Get help. Or rot. He nodded. Broken. As guards led him away. Something shifted, chains loosening. Back in Phoenix. The leaks sparked firestorm, Talk shows debating sibling slaughter, hero or henchwoman. I went on MSNBC. Voice steady. Ethan's pain is real, but so was his crime. Accountability isn't vengeance, it's oxygen for healing. Ratings spiked, but trolls swarmed. Gold-digging bitch drove him to it. Controversial? My brand now. Jake called post-show. Saw you.
Fierce. Dinner?
My treat, no strings. Strings? Inevitable. But isolation chafed.
Deal.
Neutral turf. The Italian spot off Central was candlelit intimacy. Pasta twirling like old times. Jake opened. Therapy's kicking my ass. Realized I enabled him to feel big. Big enough to betray. Wine loosened tongues. Regrets my shadow. His foot brushed mine electric. We ended at my place. Boundaries blurring into sheets. Dawn light filtered. His whisper, second chance? Maybe. But trust? A work in progress. Spring bloomed with heights completion, ribbon cut, families moving in, kids splashing in the new playground. Dad beamed from the podium. Me beside. Jake in the crowd. Hand raised in quiet cheer. Press snapped. Hail Eris's heartfelt homecoming. Then the board threw curve. Merger offer from a Cali conglomerate. Fat check, but strings, got the affordable arm. Profits over people, the suits argued. Controversy brewed. I paced the office. Dad watching. Take it.
Soft.
Secure the future. Or fight for Dad's vision? Decision loomed. Board vote split. Public forum. Town hall packed. Displaced Heights families front row. MS. Hail, a mom stood. Toddler on hip. Don't sell us out like before. Before, Ethan's flip. My throat tightened. I won't. Merger's off. We're staying local. Building right. Cheers erupted. But Whitaker fumed. Reckless. Stock'll tank. Let it. Walked out to hugs. Headlines hailing defiant daughter. Twist personal. Pregnancy test positive. Jake's. Unplanned. Panic hit. Motherhood in the crosshairs? But ultrasound heartbeat steadied me. We're in. I texted him. Dad's reaction. Joy. Then concern. Ethan, no. Not yet. But prison mail, a letter. Baby booties sketched. Uncle material? Redeem me. Sophomore. Pity one. I visited. Showed the sonogram. For this kid, be better. Trying. Therapy notes enclosed progress. Summer scorched. Belly swelling. Company thriving on ethics. Jake proposed on a Heights rooftop. Ring simple. Partners? Equals. Yes. No altar drama, just us. Fall brought Ethan's parole hearing. I testified. He's flawed. But family. Supervised release. Granted. Awkward dinner at the ranch. Ethan gaunt. Polite. Congrats. Sis. Thanks. Truce fragile. But real. Birth in December. Boy named after Dad. Alexander Hale. Ethan held him first. Tears falling. Won't fuck this up. Redemption's arc bent. Not broken. Life. Rebooted. Bloomed wild. A year post Alex's wail shattering the delivery room. Phoenix pulsed with a rhythm I'd scripted. Controlled chaos. My chaos. CEO by day. Mom by night. Diapers and deals. A mashup that left Jake gaping at my multitasking. You're a machine? Soft, he'd say, burping the kid while I closed a sustainable build contract. Machine? Nah, reborn. Refined. Running on spite and spite's sweeter cousin. Spite-proof love. The ranch had expanded. Nursery wing. Home office with crib cam. Dad doted. Spoiling Alex with booties and bad jokes. Grandpa's little mogul, he'd coo. While Ethan, pearly poster boy, mowed the lawn Saturdays. Supervised but steady. Therapy twice weekly. Job at a hardware store, small steps. But steps. Controversial? Neighbors whispered jailbird uncle, but Alex's giggles drowned it. Ethan's reintegration wasn't seamless. First family barbecue. Grill smoke curling like question marks. He cornered me by the pool. Thanks for the shot.
Soft. But.
Dreams still. The river. I flipped burgers. Spatula steady. Mine too. Trunks tighter every night. His flinch was genuine. Tell me how to fix. You can't. But showing up? That start. We clinked beers. Toast to fractures mending crooked. Work through wrenches. Heights to proposal. Eco-condos on disputed land. Navajo tribe claims clashing with city zoning. Board split again. Whitaker pushing progress. Me advocating buyout. Pay fair. Build green. I argued in the war room. Charts projecting win-win. Naive, he scoffed. Tribal lawyers will bleed us. Or ally us. Vote mine. 6-4. Press frenzy. Hale's holy grail. Corporate conscience or costly compromise? CNN profile aired. Me cradling Alex. Business isn't zero-sum. Betrayal taught me that. Viewership boomed. But trolls evolved. Deep fakes of me confessing to fabricating Ethan's crimes. Legal eagles swatted him. But fatigue crept. Jake noticed. Post-bedtime. You're carrying the world.
Babe.
Worlds lighter shared. We made love slow. Reclaiming pieces. Twist corporate. Anonymous leak. Old Ethan emails resurfaced. Implicating Whitaker in minor kickbacks. Framing me, he roared in my office. Clean house, I said. HR en route. Or join the club. He resigned bitter. Memoir threats bubbling. I preempted. Public audit. Full transparency. Stock dipped. Then soared. Investors loving the fearless purge. Personal storm. Alex's first fever. Our dash at midnight. Jake paced. I held tiny fists. He's tough, like you, Doc said. Cleared pneumonia. But vulnerability hit. What if my past poisoned this? Ethan visited hospital. Flowers in hand. Scared shitless.
Huh?
Felt that with you. Post-am. Waited for sirens that never came. Guilt's a ghost. I sighed. Haunts forever. Yeah. But family's anchor. He bounced Alex gently. Bond forming. Fall harvest brought Lila back. Divorce, dust settled. Shoot. Truce? Coffee. Neutral ground. A cafe off mill. She looked softer. No pearls. Just jeans. Hate mail after the book. Called me gold digger. Karma circle. No sympathy. But curiosity. Why now? Therapy. Realized I ignored red flags. Ethan's charm masked the con. She sipped latte. You? Mom life suiting.
Exhausting.
Rewarding. We talked hours. Women wounded. Walls cracking. No hard feelings, she asked. Water under the bridge.
Literally.
Thanksgiving sprawled. Full table. Dad carving turkey. Jake toasting. Ethan passing rolls. Alex in high chair. Mashing yams. Laughter flowed. Tentative then true. Post-feast. Ethan pulled me aside. Wrote a letter for the file. Full confession. Damn details. Sealed. But yours if. Keep it. Trust tiptoed. Burn when ready. Winter's solstice gala. Alex on hip. I keynote again. Second acts. From vendetta to victory. Crowd wrapped. Standing O. Backstage. Jake kissed my temple. Proud. Me too. Flashbulbs popped. Family portrait.
Whole.
But dawn of New Year brought reckoning. Ethan's sponsor flagged a slip. Bar slip. Not Bender. But close. Confrontation in the den. Voices low. One drink. Soft. Stress the job. Stress excuses nothing. Ultimatum loomed. Controversial core. Boot him or believe. Dad mediated. Give grace. Like you got.
Grace.
The word stuck.
Stay.
But relapse. You're out. He nodded. Relief raw. Won't let you down. Spring renewal. Heights too groundbreaking. Tribal elders blessing soil. Alex toddled dirt. Jake filming. Press lauded hail harmony. Summer scandal. Whitaker's tell-all dropped. Twisting facts. Me as ruthless upstart. Sales tanked initial. But counter-interview viral. Lies don't build. Truth does. Boycott his book. Fans rallied. Fall twist. Pregnancy again, girl. Ultrasound pink promise. Jake hooped. Ethan gifted a rattle. Andy material? Uncles got competition. Laughter healed. By Winter's Eve. 2 years post-reboot. I stood balcony overlooking Twinkling Valley. Alex asleep inside. Bump under sweater. Ethan grilled below. Dad regaling Jake with war stories. Life's ledger balanced. Betrayals banked. Truths tallied. The sneer at the Bellagio? Distant echo. Lesson etched. Reborn. I'd revealed not just truth, but my teeth. And damn, they gleamed.